Hello everyone, welcome to Medverse, and today we are going to revise a very important topic of microbiology, that is hepatobiliary system. So starting with the amoebic liver abscess, which is the most common site in extra-intestinal. Basically whenever it is infected, then it is always intestinal, but here the most common extra-intestinal site is liver. Of amoeba, the most common extra-intestinal site is liver. So it is a single abscess. It's a single abscess, but bacterial abscesses, if you see, there are multiple. But here it is a single abscess, which is solitary abscess, and the ratio of males to female is 9:1. That is, it is more common in males as compared to females, and usually adults. Okay, so this is the amoebic liver abscess. You can see single abscess here, and this is a pyogenic liver abscess. Pyogenic liver abscess means it is of bacterial origin. So bacterial liver abscesses are multiple. Most common site is the posterior superior surface of right lobe of liver. Posterior superior surface of right lobe of liver is the most common site of liver abscess, right? Trophozoites of E. histolytica, that is the causative agent is Entamoeba histolytica. You know that it has two forms, cyst form and trophozoite form. So these trophozoites of Entamoeba histolytica basically go to the liver and occlude the venules. You know, venules means tiny veins. They occlude the venules of the liver, and if there is an occlusion, the blood flow will be impacted. And whenever there is a impaction of the blood flow, the liver goes into necrosis. Okay, necrosis due to absence of nutrition or oxygen. There is no oxygen reaching to the tissues, so there will be necrosis of hepatocytes. Okay, so basically trophozoites occlude the hepatic venules and lead to anoxic necrosis of hepatocytes. And there is an inflammatory response surrounding the hepatocyte. Whenever there is a necrosis here, okay, there will be an inflammation surrounding it, and this inflammation is basically called abscess. Okay, so abscess has three layers of abscess. There is an inner layer has dead hepatocytes, and trophozoites are absent, only dead hepatocytes. The middle zone is basically degenerated hepatocytes, RBC, WBC, all are degenerated in the middle zone, and some occasional trophozoites. And the outer zone has trophozoites. So trophozoites are present maximally in the outer zone. Hepatocytes are present maximally in the inner zone, necrotic hepatocytes, right? So trophozoites present more in the outer layers than inner layers, but necrosis present more in the inner layers than outer layers. Okay, if you understand this analogy, then it's easy. A very classical feature is anchovy sauce pus, which is formed due to liver abscess. Anchovy sauce pus is the classical color of liver abscess pus, which is thick chocolate brown acidic pus, and the pH is basically 5.2 to 6.7, that is slightly acidic. What it is made up of? It is made up of necrotic hepatocytes. Okay, the liver cells which are damaged without any pus cell. Remember, there is no pus present over here. Okay, without any pus cell, it is pus, but a pus cell is absent, and maybe trophozoites, but made up of mainly necrotic hepatocytes. Amoebic trophozoites are found in last few drops of pus, since the organism multiplies in the wall of abscess. Okay, so this amoebic trophozoites may be found in the last drops here, the residue. What are the complications? So right-sided liver abscess. Remember, when you are talking about the right side, it will go to lungs majorly. Okay, because of pulmonary circulation. Right side mainly goes to the lungs. So this right-sided liver abscess, whenever there is a right-sided liver abscess, it can rupture into the lung. Okay, and if it is rupturing into the lung, then it can spread in the pulmonary. Okay, it can spread in the lung, pulmonary amoebiasis. That is, you will find trophozoites in the sputum. Okay, and it may rupture externally to the skin. If it is going to the lungs or rupturing in the skin, then it will cause granuloma cutis. Cutis means skin. Okay, so there is an infection of skin, granulomatous infection of skin, that is granuloma cutis. It may rupture into the pleura. That is the, what is the pleura? Pleura is basically the sheath covering the lung. So it may rupture into the pleura, causing amoebic pleuritis. So right-sided liver abscess, 3 complications: pulmonary amoebiasis, granuloma cutis, and amoebic pleuritis. Rupture of abscess below the diaphragm. If it is rupturing below the diaphragm, look at this. This is the diaphragm, okay, and here it is the liver. It is rupturing below the diaphragm, then it will cause a subphrenic abscess. Phrenic means, the phrenic word means diaphragm. Diaphragm is called as phrenic, and subphrenic means below diaphragm. So subphrenic abscess is basically caused due to rupture of abscess below the diaphragm. And generalized peritonitis means this will spread here, and there will be inflammation of the peritoneum. You know, there is a peritoneum covering all over the abdomen. So there is generalized peritonitis due to excess fluid or pus of rupture of abscess. Okay, so below the diaphragm, subphrenic abscess, and generalized peritonitis. This is very dangerous and very fatal. If it is if it is left-sided structure, you imagine there is the liver, here is the stomach. Okay, so this is the right side, this is the left side. So left side, the stomach is near, right? The stomach is near, the left pleura is near of the lung, left pleura of the lung. Okay, the heart is also in left side, so pericardium is also near. So left sided may rupture into stomach, left pleura, or pericardial cavity. Amoebic pericarditis. Easy? Okay. Hematogenous spread from liver, that is, it can spread from liver into LBSK. What is LBSK? Lungs, spleen, brain, and kidney. Okay, so LBSK, it can spread from liver. Lab diagnosis. What can you do? There is a pus formation, so you can do microscopy of the pus to detect the trophozoites. Not much sensitive, but it can be done. Microscopy, you can see the pus to find trophozoites, because you know that in the pus also there are occasional trophozoites. So it is not much sensitive. Stool culture, low sensitivity, but it is the gold standard. Okay, we majorly do stool culture. Antigen detection you can do by lectin antigen. Lectin antigen is present, you can detect it. Antibody detection, you can write ELISA, indirect hemagglutination, that is IHA, IIF, and CFT. Okay, ELISA, IHA, IIF, and CFT, you can write all of this. PCR of pus aspirated from abscess. Whenever there is an abscess kind of thing, you can aspirate pus, that is, take out the pus. Okay, and you can do PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction. Okay, and this is a good one. Specificity and sensitivity is high. And you can do histopathology. Whenever you do PAS stain, you must be reading, and in this PAS stain, there is a green background present. Okay, in this PAS stain there is a green background, and in this green background there may be trophozoites present. In bright pink color. Okay, so bright pink trophozoites may be seen in green background if you do PAS stain. Treatment is basically metronidazole and tinidazole. Okay. Amoebic liver abscess, pyogenic liver abscess, there is a difference table not given in much sources, but here I have added it. In amoebic liver abscess, it is seen in younger adults, but pyogenic is seen in older adults. Okay. Usually single, I told you this point, amoebic liver abscess is single abscess, but pyogenic, you saw there were multiple abscesses. Okay, it is acute. It is an acute condition. It is subacute condition. History, living in endemic areas. Wherever there is a amoebic liver abscess in amoeba endemic regions, amoeba endemic, there is a history present all. Okay, and pyogenic, history of gallstone, diabetes. Okay, all of these are basically risk factors for development of bacterial liver abscess or pyogenic liver abscess. It is caused by Entamoeba histolytica. Amoebic liver abscess we discussed, whatever we discussed now was being caused by Entamoeba histolytica, but pyogenic one is caused by bacteria, Klebsiella and E. coli. So that's all in amoebic liver abscess.